Hi, welcome to Inside the Castle Walls. I'm Karl, and this is Will. On this show, we're going to be talking about video games, music, and a combination of the two. On today's show, we're going to be talking about New Super Mario Bros.
Now, this franchise, I guess you can say, has been around since about 2006, and from that very first game on the DS, Karl and I, we always thought that the name was quite strange, and I mean, I think it's ironic now that they've made so many, and they continue to make so many, that whole concept of being new might really be getting thrown out the window.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later on in the episode.
Right, so one of the big reasons we're doing this right now is the timing of the release of New Super Mario Bros. 2 for the Nintendo 3DS. Now this was released on August 19th, and we'll talk about this game a little bit later, but while we're talking about this whole series, we're going to be playing through the Wii game, New Super Mario Bros. Wii.
Well, shall we get to it?
Let's do it!
Alright.
I've been playing a lot of the new one, and it's pretty cool. Like the graphics and like whole style of it, it feels a lot like this. It's almost like if this game meant the DS game.
That's really surprising to me that it feels like this, because for me, so far, the New Super Mario Bros. Have been so vastly different from each other.
Yeah, well, what I think is interesting is it's like they all feel kind of similar, but like I think they're all good games.
They're fun. They're definitely fun, but they just feel like expansion packs.
Yeah.
You know, they don't really feel like full-fledged new games to me.
I think this game, so far, is my favorite New Super Mario Bros. Game.
The Wii version?
Yeah, I don't know, I feel like it made the most changes. Like, the graphics are better, I think it has a nice visual look. Don't get these coins, please.
Well, I'm dead, so you don't have to worry about that.
Oh, you died. I don't know, I feel, in my opinion, when it comes to video games, you can't have too much of a good thing. But Nintendo is really making me want to change my opinion on that. Because I love Mario games, but it's like, it used to seem like they'd make a Mario game and then it would take a while for another one to come out. So you were so excited by the time the next one was there. And now it's like, for the last like 4 years or something, they've been making a Mario game every single year.
The first time I ever bought a Mario game and felt slightly like something was missing was this game. Nothing against this game, it's just the fact that honestly it was called New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I didn't think it was possible to come up with a name that was worse than New Super Mario Bros., but they managed to do it.
Oh, and they're doing it again. New Super Mario Bros. U.
It almost makes me want to just quit playing Mario games forever, even though it's never going to happen. I always thought it was a working title. I remember seeing early footage of it, and I was like, oh, when are they going to change the name? What's it actually going to be called? Right. And when they released it as New Super Mario Bros., I could not believe it.
In all fairness, I mean, the games are really good.
Yeah, but that's my point, is that why do we have to cut them so much slack? Why do we have to say, well, enjoy the good things about it? Because honestly, if there's one company that we shouldn't have to do that, it's Nintendo. They're capable of making some of the best games of all time. They should be held to a higher standard.
I guess, but it's just a name, like...
Why don't they come up with new music? And why are they so married to the crappy DS instruments? Like, every single reincarnation of New Super Mario Bros. Has that crappy, that like synth choir sound, which was fine for the DS, but this is a Wii game. Why not have better?
You know what's kind of atrocious? I want to talk about the new game a little bit first. It uses like no new music. It's all music from this game, and that's the thing that bugs me the most. Is I feel like the level design it kind of feels nice and new, and I'm really enjoying playing it. Mm-hmm. But it's like when the graphics and sound just feel identical, it's really like.
And that's what I'm talking about. Those aspects of the games, it feels like Nintendo's dropping the ball. For the first time in the Mario series, you know?
Well, what I think is interesting is I don't think the level design's any worse. I think it's just some of the surface things. Like, the presentation is basically, that's the biggest thing. If it was presented in a different way, it would feel completely
it's not about the level design not being good, because it is good. For me, it's the missing ingredients. It's the presentation, like you said. It's the lack of anything new and exciting to separate it as a new adventure, and it's the lack of new music. Every single Mario adventure that came out before New Super Mario Bros. Had brand new music, and New Super Mario Bros. Did as well. But after that,
well, this has new music, like all this, like all these castles, and when
it's all based on old music. It's rehashes of old themes.
Well, and not this game. Like some of the, to be fair, like the tropical levels and the ice levels, there's like different new themes that don't use the.
But in my opinion, I don't think they should use that New Super Mario Bros. Theme anymore. They've used it too much.
I think on the new game for the Wii U, they have a new theme. theme, but I listened to it. It's basically like someone trying to copy the new Super Mario Brothers theme, but like it has a different melody, but it's like the same basic structure of the song and the same instruments.
Yeah,
like it uses
honestly,
that
I'm not
guitar.
surprised.
It's interesting. Like I feel like with all the things they could be doing, they're really just trying to milk this cow like out of everything that it has, and I think it's so funny because it's like they're not running out of ideas. Like Galaxy was great.
I mean, there was a time when Nintendo was so adventurous and inventive and just was doing new cutting-edge things, and now I feel like in some of their titles they're really just kind of being lazy and being too conservative when they really don't need to be.
Right.
And that's kind of what I was talking about, how I think they should be held to a higher standard. I really feel like it is almost a missed opportunity with these new Super Mario Brothers games.
Right.
They could have been amazing, and they're just good. These new Super Mario Brothers games are the first time in that series where I have this feeling of disappointment because I feel like I'm not blown away by the game.
Right.
And maybe that's not what they were going for, and that's fine.
I think they're just going for sort of like a trip through Nostalgiaville and like having a nice retro, fun little romp where just nice, fun levels. I mean, it is portable. Like, I think it's more excusable for the portable ones.
Yeah.
I guess I really, really hope that with the new Wii U one, the similarities are only in the name, and that they really... I think they are trying to do, like, a more Mario World style map. Because of like the few things I've seen, and it looks like there's new music.
Well, here's
it looks
the
like
thing.
There's a new art style because there's like levels inspired by like Van Gogh paintings.
Here's the thing. There's really not much that would need to be different about these new Super Mario Brothers games for me to think they're awesome. If you had new original music that was really good and sounded like Koji Kondo style, and you had like a new type of a map system and some new type of mechanics that separated it from all the other adventures, and it was called like Super Mario Bros. 4. If all those things happened, which none of them really would change the game that much, I think for me that would completely turn it around. That would make me think the game is awesome. But the fact that they don't have those things, it doesn't feel like a proper Mario game to me.
Well, one thing that I do like about this game, and the thing that they really tried to do differently in this game, is there's a huge focus on coins. My original fear in the game was similar to fears that I had in other themed Mario games, is that they would just stick to that type of motif and have all the levels just be designed around collecting coins. But what I like is I actually think it adds a new level of challenge to the Mario games, and it doesn't take center stage. The levels are still great in and of themselves, and sometimes I forget that, like, oh yeah, I am collecting all these coins.
See, because when I first heard about that new idea, I was very turned off. I was like, oh man, it seems like they're getting less inspired. Like, it feels like they're getting more lazy. Okay, now everything's going to be about collecting coins, which was never a big part of any Mario game.
Well,
like, it was about the platforming and getting past the level.
Well, what I like about this now is that it is being part of it, and it makes the coins have a purpose.
That's good.
And it to me it triggers that one of my favorite things, one of my favorite paradoxes when you're playing a Mario game, grabbing something to help you,
and then you
puts
die.
you in danger.
Yeah. For me, it might not be my cup of tea because I've never really ever cared remotely about coins, and I don't think this game is going to change that for me.
No,
I'm sure I could probably still enjoy the game.
The reason why I think it is because they add new things that make the coins collecting really fun. Like, there's this new power-up called the Coin Flower, where Mario turns, like, remember how he turned into, like, Metal Mario in Mario 64?
Yep.
He turns completely gold, and it's really fun, because you can go around just killing everything, and then you get coins for it. And you basically
I like the
throw
killing
fireballs.
everything part.
This is really pushing it, because I talked about how frequently they're making these games, but now they're getting to the point they're going to have 2 in 1 year. November, which is probably when the system will launch, they're going to have new Super Mario Brothers U, and that's ridiculous. Having 2 games, not only in the same Mario franchise, but the
both
same
called New
side-scrolling-
Super Mario Brothers?
Yeah, I mean, I
Ridiculous.
hope they do something to differentiate that game.
You know what? I never thought I'd say this, but at this point, I would prefer them to take like 3 years off and not have any Mario games.
Yeah.
And try to think of a really creative idea.
Nintendo just needs to find a nice way to present their titles.
It's something as simple as a title. If this game was called Super Mario Bros. 4, even if it was the exact same game, I would probably go out and buy it. I know it sounds silly, but that's just me, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that are probably similar to me in that department.
Okay, Carl, so what did we learn today?
We learned that the new Super Mario Bros. Games are very fun and enjoyable, but don't really feel like true new additions to the Mario canon.
Right. I think the biggest lesson to be learned is that all it takes is some subtle changes in presentation to make something feel different. I mean, hell, like the Madden series and all those sports series, they're basically repackaging the same game every year.
Exactly.
But people buy it. So I think Nintendo needs to take a cue from that and how to keep their franchises staying fresh.
I completely agree. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. Hopefully you enjoyed us talking about and playing the new Super Mario Bros. Games. I'm Carl.
And I'm Will.
Take care. Oh, and be sure to check out our podcast below.
Who are you talking to?